Hello everyone, my name is Paul Daniel and this is the first video of a three-part video tutorial series that I'm doing on SQL coding. And in this first video I'm going to show you how to create tables and how to add primary keys and attributes and foreign keys. And the way I have this set up right now is on the right hand side I have a blank notepad file, and on the left hand side I have Oracle's iSQL Plus, which is the compiler where we would compile our code after we make. And to start off, I'm going to create a table. I'm going to use the command create table, and I'm going to name it student. And I'm going to hit enter, open a parenthesis to start our attribute naming. And our first attribute or column is going to be student ID. I'm going to abbreviate as this. And it's going to have the data type of number. And I put 11 in parentheses after that. What that means is that the student ID is going to have up to 11 numbers as the student ID. Now hit a comma and go to the next line. And the next column or attribute is going to be student first name. And for the data type, it's going to be varchar2, and it's going to be up to 25 characters. And varchar2 is just a string, so it could be a letter, it could be a number, a character, anything really. And the next attribute is going to be student's last name. Again, varchar2, 25. Next, I have student phone number. This will be the data type char, which is short for character. It's going to have 13 characters for it. And the next attribute will be student email. And I will use varchar2. Use up to 30 string letters for this. Next attribute, student major. This would be varchar2 as well. And next I'll put birth date, student's birth date. This would be date. This one is a little tricky, it's different from the other data types. It follows a strict format. Is how it works. I'm going to put a comment instead of two forward slashes like you would in like C programming. In SQL you use two hyphens, and for a comment, the way the data format works for this is you put the month first, I'm sorry, the day first, which would be say today is the 13th, and say the month is December. You put a hyphen, then the three-letter abbreviation, so it would be DEC, or if it's January, put JAN, and then another hyphen, and the year, so 2010. So when you populate your table under this date data type, you would put in this format: day, month, three-letter abbreviation, and then year. And the final attribute for the student table will be course ID, and that will be a number. And for the primary key for the student table is how we do this is you type in constraint pk for primary key, then underscore the name it like the table, so student table, primary key student, then type in primary key, and in parentheses is the primary key of the attribute. So the primary key that I want for the student table will be student ID. That's the unique identifier. So I'll put student ID as a primary key. And then hit enter, close the parenthesis for the block of code, and end the block with a semicolon. And I'm going to space this out a little bit so it's easier to read. It's good to have a well formatted code, so in case somebody else just wants to review your code, they can easily read it and whatnot. Next table I'm going to create will be the professor table. So I'm going to type in create table professor, open parenthesis. My first attribute will be prof ID. Next attribute, prof first name, prof last name, college name, professor's phone number, professor's department, then course ID, and then advisee ID. And professor ID, this would be a number up to 11 numbers. Professor's first name, varchar2, 25. Last name, fix that spelling error. Varchar2, 25. College name, and this is also varchar2. Professor's phone number, just like in the student table, we've made this the character data type, and this would be 13. Professor's department would be varchar2, make this 20. Course ID, just like in student table, same thing, this would be a number as well. And that's up to 8 numbers. And then advisee ID. This will come in as a foreign key later. I'll show you how to do that. It references a student ID as well. So this would be the same thing as student ID, which is 11. And for the primary key of the professor table, the unique identifier would be professor ID. So I type in constraint pk for primary key underscore, name it professor, name of the table, and then primary key, and that will be professor ID. And then end the block of code, and here's our professor table. I'm going to create one more table. It's going to be the courses table. As you can tell earlier, I type in course ID for both the student and the professor table. Those are both the foreign keys, and this is where this foreign key comes into play from this table. First attribute would be course ID. This would be a number, 8. Next attribute would be course name, varchar2, 25. And course number. To use a different data type, I'll use integer. You don't have to specify the character lengths for this data type. And the primary key for this will be course ID. And here are our 3 tables: student, professor, and courses. They all have primary keys listed. And now it's time to add the foreign keys, but I'm going to save that for the next video. This video I just want to show you how to create tables and whatnot, and then the next video I'll show you how to compile everything together, and then hopefully we'll populate them. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next video.